You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire Future Wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Laec.
And together we are...
Rampage.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody that lives in the United States of America. You know, Jean-Paul is full, I'm full. Happy Gobble Gobble Day. Hope that all of you members of the family are doing absolutely outstanding and enjoying some quality time with your families, loved ones. So, you know, we have here the review for NXT UK, a pretty good show, like Jean-Paul mentioned last week, you know, the finals of the Heritage Cup. So we're really excited about this, you know, well, at least I am. Jean-Paul is like, so, you know, Gobble Gobble didn't bring what I wanted, so, you know, it's something like that. How are we doing, Jean-Paul? Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, exactly. No, another Thursday in the books, another great episode of NXT UK. The Heritage Cup finals, it was a match that deserved the finals. I maybe didn't get the winner I wanted, but it was still a really good match, you know, and the opening match, Jordan Devlin, Cruiserweight title match was really good as well. And we saw some promos for next week, some stuff that we predicted as well, maybe who Rampage Brown was going to go against. I believe we predicted that. So overall, this was a really good show for NXT UK.
Overall, like, yeah, pretty decent show. So, you know, before you guys watch this, don't forget to check this out. NXT review with Jean-Paul and myself, you know, advantage for the War Games for the Kings of NXT. Yesterday, he beat Kyle O'Reilly, you know, for the advantage, like it says in the title. Mystery Man, right, Jean-Paul, which happens to be Pat McAfee, but like, you know, pretty, average show. Main event was a little good, and then like Tony Storm turns heel, good stuff on that. So don't forget to check that out, and let's go with like the best booker in the business, Jean-Paul Laec. Moxley gets the upper hand over the Cleaner. You know, the contract signing was like yesterday for AEW Dynamite, a pretty good show. You know, Abaddon was right there. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, I actually like this show for Dynamite. Going into next week when it's going to be the Winter is Coming show that they have. So this was the big contract signing. This was pretty good. I just didn't like how long-winded Moxley's promo was, and Omega had to sell the DDT on the title for like 5 minutes as Moxley cut this long promo. But overall, this was a solid episode of Dynamite again. Dynamite delivers a third week in a row now. NXT's kind of slipping, so I don't know what's going on here, but
so Jean-Paul is
the Wednesday Night Wars. I don't know that they're leaning, even though they've always been in the side of AEW technically. But
that's true. So let's start with, like you said, like the Cruiserweight Championship match. Who's the real Cruiserweight champion? We still don't know, because Santos Escobar is gonna go against the Stallion, not Matt Riddle, but the other Stallion. So now we have Jordan Devlin defending against Amir. Amir Jordan, but this one was a good match. We have like European Cruiserweight champion. Jordan Devlin is looking strong. I think that like his intensity, he knows he has to deliver because of all the allegations of the stand-up movement. He knows that he has a chip on his shoulder right now because, like a lot of us were under the impression that he's going to be done. And that's why Santos Escobar is the champion. But Amir helped him out to pull out a really good match. I like, the Kinesio tape also, and I don't know if you noticed, but like they had like more like people in the audience in like in the Thunderdome, kind of like but they had it on the sides of like the Titantron that they have.
Yeah, this match was really good, I thought, and especially like Jordan Devlin, like you said, all this stuff about the speak out movement he has to deliver, and also the guy who trained him is the NXT, heavyweight champion, Finn Balor.
Yes.
So there, he has a lot of pressure like that too. Like almost you have to follow in like your father's footsteps, so to speak. Not his actual father, but the guy who trained him. So exactly. But this is this was a good match to showcase Jordan Devlin, but also Amir Jordan. Like I said, Amir Jordan was the tag team partner. At first, he went against his family's wishes. He's just, and at first he was just happy to be here. They didn't want him to be a wrestler. He's like, hey, I made it in WWE. That was good enough for me. But now, now that's not good enough. Now he wants singles gold, and he's on that path. And, this match, Jordan Devlin looked good in the beginning. Amir Jordan tried to fight back, and he got some offense in. But, the champ, this match was set up for him to, to look strong, and I think that's what it did.
No, and I agree. I like the chops. Like I said, Amir Jordan, like, really flexible, agility. Mm-hmm. I like the chops sounded so good.
He's someone who I could easily see if this brand grows and they add another title or even this Cruiserweight title, I could easily see Amir Jordan winning it at some point. He's too good.
Yeah, and see, like, good thing, like, just like, give me a finish this thought, and that is, like, don't you think that like see every single show has at least like a theme, and like they do what like NXT back in the day used to do is like they don't give you the same guys, so it's like everybody gets a spot. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's why these episodes feel so good too, because it's not 2 hours. When the show's 2 hours, sometimes there's not enough people who are ready to feature, so you have to feature the same people each and every week, and then we get sick of seeing them. Kind of like the Undisputed Era, that's how we kind of feel with them for a while.
Baby faces.
Yeah, so with the show being an hour, I agree with that 100%. But no, Amir Jordan, I also think he's a baby face that if they keep pushing him, he's one when there's crowds there, they'll really be behind him.
Yeah. Because even like the cultural thing, like he's kind of like an Indian, like see, like that's kind of like the type of like Indian person that you're supposed to like portray, instead of Jinder. I would much rather like.
Oh, Jinder was like a heel straight out of like 1988.
Yes, so like that's
like
why
with his like stereotypical gimmick. Yeah.
So Paul, let's go to like the finish of the match, and it was a submission. Like a Jordan kind of falling
almost like an Indian deathlock.
Yes, like pretty similar to that. Like he did, I think, the back body drop, like he does that, but like then he going into the submission.
He heard us. He heard us talking shit about the devil inside, and he's like, "Okay, Jean Paul, I'll do it. I'll do a submission for you." And I'm like, "Okay, good."
I don't know how to feel. I mean, it's a lot better, right? Because it's like just the back body drop, or like you said, like the devil. Like the Devlin's, like the devil inside, I think it is.
Yeah.
So like I don't think that like is like the deadly finisher. So like at least a submission.
Yeah, and it's just the way he hits it, because he hits it very slow. Like Karrion Kross does like that Saito suplex, but it's like he delivers it very fast and impactful. With Jordan Devlin suplex is like really slow, and it doesn't seem like it should be a finisher. So I like the submission more, but we see other people do their submissions, but as long as he keeps winning matches and looking strong, he's doing the right thing. So.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's like at least he's looking strong, and again, we're still under like the question: when is like Santos Escobar is going to acknowledge?
Yeah, I like this though, because they're slowly making subtle remarks. Because even Nigel McGuinness said on commentary, he's like, "Oh yeah, the other champion across the Atlantic, because of him, Jordan Devlin has to train twice as hard to prove, or something like that, to prove he's the real champ or something." He made a little comment, so you see that they're keeping hitting that rivalry. So
kind of like the same idea that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Noam Dar getting his own talk show, and it's going to be called Supernova 11? The sessions. That I don't know. Like this is a little bit.
No, to me that's stupid, because
don't do it.
The show is only an hour, and I don't feel like any of these matches are too long. Now, I get there's going to be no more of the Tournament Cup, the Heritage Cup matches, and those matches took a long time, obviously. And there's not going to be another Walter Dragunov, like long 30-minute match again for a while. So maybe the talk show will have a time slot, but I agree with you in the aspect of it's just going to be cringy. It's going to be weird. I don't know if Noam Dar is hurt or something, but it's like I'd rather see the guy in the ring and wrestle than see like a Miz, the Miz TV or the KO show or some kind of bullshit like that.
Yesterday, yeah, like something that like really actually makes the show worse. It takes away the energy. It takes away the attention.
Well, this goes all the way back to Piper's Pit. Vince has always loved this shit. He's always like give people a talk show.
Yeah, like the highlight reel and all of that, the cutting edge, and so many other talk shows that the superstars have had throughout the years. So let's talk about this. That is going to happen actually next week, but we saw a video package. Is the South Wales Subculture, Mike Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. They attack the Hun, Primate and Wild Boar, and Eddie Dennis, but pretty nice attack. Like they kind of like trying to get it even because of all this rivalry that they have. Eddie Dennis and one of the members of the Hun, I think it's Primate. They were friends, with like Flashmore Western, Mark Andrews, like they know each other years ago, so like they're gonna have a tag team match next week. What do you think about this whole like feud? I'm really excited to see my guys back.
Oh, I like this, and I agree. Flash Morgan Webster, Mark Andrews are legit, and I like how when we first started covering NXT UK, you see how they were more like Beatles, more like pop, just like their look, and now they still kind of have that. They wear the sunglasses and everything, but look how much more serious they look. And how legit they look, and we see, and now we're like, it's kind of cool that we're seeing their like growth and evolution, and they're becoming a more serious team in this serious feud, and I think this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to this match, and this is one where I could easily see them going over, but I could also see them trying to get the Hunt over as well. So this could go either way. I'm looking forward to this match.
I think the Hunt, just because like Eddie Dennis is behind
Yes,
him.
also Eddie Dennis,
And
yes.
what you said before, how like he does like the talk, because it's kind of like he manages like two primates, so to say. Like one of them is of course Wild Boar, but he managed like two guys that like are like unhinged. Then they're not
Yes.
really like civilized, so to say. So we'll see. He will play a factor. So I kind
Oh,
of like
definitely.
I kind of like love the idea. So let's go to this one also next week. And it's because last week we kind of like see the tease of it. And then Alexander Wolf accepted Joe Coffey's challenge for the match, but he spoke to Sid Scala and demanded that the rest of Goles they stay like banned from ringside. So Scala accepted those terms, but also like he said that it means that Imperium is also like like just banned from the ringside as well. So we'll see. Like Wolf is like so.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, what did you think of that? He's like, "Oh, I'll accept if Gallus can't come down," which is like, okay, that's fair. But wouldn't he also would suspect that his guys shouldn't be able to come down too? And then when Sid's like, "Oh yeah, well your boys can't come down either," he's like, "So," I'm like, "Really?"
Well, yeah,
like really?
Like that makes you look like a puss.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It made Wolf look like an idiot. I was like, really? He loses every match. He already looks like an idiot in that aspect. Can you at least let him be like, that sounds good or that's fine or whatever?
And you at least look legit, yeah. But
Yeah.
no, that's not what happened. But I mean, like I said, it's good. Like that they give us like continuity. That's important. And
this is all just leading to, I think, Coffee and Walter too. I think that's what this is leading for.
And what do we do with Dragunov? That's the big question. If like Kofi's not even in merch in that like title match. But you're right. Like I think that like they're gonna go with Kofi just because he was also another one that was able to pull a great match. With Walter.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's go to the women's side, Jean Paul. Ginny had a match with Isla Dawn. This was a good match. Isla Dawn has like extremely ability with like the kicks that she does, like with her legs. I think that's the main point of attack that she has, or offense. But Ginny, likes the girl that they're pushing right now. She played a big factor in the last week's title match with like Piper Niven and KDDA. So like she has to have a match because they need. I think like you were saying before, she's gonna be the next one to challenge for the title with Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, and they usually have a women's match almost every show. I believe they've done one like every show since they came back, besides the Dragunov and Walter match. But this is it was good. Isla Dawn to me is she's kind of where like Valkyrie is in that level, but like not as good as Valkyrie, because Valkyrie I feel is going to be the next women's champ here. I feel like they're slowly pushing her, but she's in that same boat where it's like, okay, you're not in the main event, but like you're going to be there soon. But like you said, Ginny's the one they're pushing. She's the one who I think is going to be next to challenge Keely B, as you like to say. She's going to be the next one to challenge her. So obviously she's going to win. And yeah, we see the submission there. Again, it was a super quick submission. As soon as she locked it in, it was like immediate a tap. It's like, can you at least try to pretend that you're going to, get yourself out of it? But it was good for what it did, because you got to make Jenny look strong going into the championship match that isn't official yet, but it is going to be happening.
They're going to set it up at some point, and like you said, Jeannie, yeah, she played a factor, so I wouldn't be surprised. So in this time, Piper Niven plays the factor, and he set it up for like what Kevin Owens said, yesterday. Remember that? Like a triple threat.
Where's Teddy Long, playa?
Yeah, or remember like a William Regal going at the end, playa. So yeah, that was okay. Like the girls, like they have a good division. I would like to see like Valkyrie more, just because she's a baby face.
Well, with her, I would say if she challenges, she has to win it. Like if you're building her up and that's your story, she can't challenge it. It can't be a Piper Niven where you challenge and lose like 7 times and then nobody cares anymore. It's like the boy who cried wolf. You keep crying wolf, no one's gonna believe you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Jean Paul always has stories for you guys. Always like like that's like the storytelling that Jean Paul has for you guys. So let's go to like the main event, finals of the Heritage Cup. Trent Seven going against the Spaniel, like Jean Paul likes me to say it, A-Kid. This was a pretty good match. Like Trent Seven was the pick for Jean Paul. For me, it was just like A-Kid. I think that like just because again supporting my Hispanics right there, but I overall I think it was a pretty good showing. Trent Seven to me came short a little bit, and I like part of me wanted Trent Seven just because of like his experience. Like he doesn't have a lot of years in him. But like they always have to go with like the future, and that's the main reason why they pick A-Kid.
Yeah, I really like this. This to me was definitely worthy of the main event for these Heritage Cup matches. It kind of followed the same formula that all the matches have followed, which I know you're not the biggest fan of, but I think hey, you did it for every single other match. You might as well do it for this last one, right? I guess why change it now? But
Can I live?
in the beginning, yeah, they started feeling each other out. But the thing I liked though is at the end of the second match, it was almost like Trent Seven was cocky because he threw in that punch right when the clock was over. So then it was just like, okay, A-Kid just like, let's see how he responds. Is he going to come out and be all, babyface and respectful, or how's he going to be? Trent Seven was kind of cocky, drinking a water bottle as the bell rang. A-Kid comes over and he almost like Sami Zayn, like the haluva kicks this water bottle like right out of his hand, and it's like, shit, he could have took his head off. So then it started. So I like that. I like that.
Kicking kick.
Yeah, I mean I like this because then you knew that okay, now this match is going to get good. Now, okay, the first 2 rounds, same bullshit, let's feel each other out, but once that happened, then you knew, the rocket, engines were blasting and this thing was off to the races.
Oh yeah. Like I like how intense that was, and like you see in the picture, you see the people added into like it's not the Thunderdome, it's just the BTA Sports in England. So like it's good, and like you said, I just don't like the fact that I have to like either skip the first 2 rounds just so I see a fall. But in this case, I think Trent Seven make A-Kid look a lot better. Just because A-Kid, like, remember before we kind of complained, like, he doesn't have a finisher. Yeah, he's good, but, he has a little bit of every single quality of a wrestler, but yet he's not convincing enough, at least for...
Yeah, this match he showed an intensity I haven't seen in the last 2 matches he was in, and also, I feel like you said earlier that Trent Seven was a little disappointing. I feel like that's because he wasn't... I mean, he hit the burning hammer, he hit, like, his signature moves and stuff, the clothesline, but he wasn't making himself the star of the match because that wasn't the point. He wasn't gonna, be he looked he looked better than A-Kid in this match, but he lost. No, that's not what he was gonna do. A-Kid was gonna shine in this match because he was gonna be the winner, and that's what they did. He wasn't gonna steal the spotlight.
Yes. And we go to like I think it was like the 5th round when Trent Seven was able to get like he tied the game. Inside the match. But again, this is the only thing, like you were mentioning, he did all his signatures, like his finishing moves, but again, a roll-up. I'm like, can you actually win?
Yeah, when he hit the burning hammer, I thought that was going to be the spot, and it wasn't, and I was like, well, it's like, what are we going to do here? And then it's just a roll-up, which, if you do that every now and again, it's okay, but when you do it for, like, every fall and all of these, Heritage Cup matches, or at least most of them, it's like it's noticeable and it sticks out. It's like, really?
And it makes me want to think that like your finisher is just like like roll up, and it's not. So and it's just I don't like that. Like you said, if you would have done the burning hammer and then win it, I would have been absolutely fine because it's like it shows that like your finisher is actually lethal, it's deadly, and that's why it's called your finisher. But they didn't do that, so like it's the final, so they got to give us a little extra of a match, and we go now like they go to the sudden death. The winner takes all. They always have to have like that phrase right there. So like this was good. I like more intensity toward the end, giving it all. Both men, just wanted to win that cup, and then in the end, I remember that suplex on the outside. That was also really good. That was absolutely a great spot. Like they did that beautifully, and it looked devastating for both men. And then at the end, A-Kid turns out to be the winner. And I mean I was happy, but at the same time I was like, maybe Trent Seven would have been the best choice. But they had to go with the future in A-Kid.
Yeah, he had him in the submission, and I mean he had him in there for a while. What would that be? He almost had like both arms behind the back. I don't know like what you would really call that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He had the arms, and it's just so then Trent Seven couldn't there was no visual of him tapping. He had to say I quit. You know what I mean? So it like that kind of almost. I guess you could say made it worse because you can't just tap and bite your tongue or whatever. You have to say I quit, or I give up or whatever. So that was like that kind of it was a little detail I noticed, and he held on for a while, but just with the intensity, like you said, you knew how this was going to go. There was no way he was going to get out of it. And A-Kid is the Heritage Cup winner now. I want to see what they do with A-Kid.
Yeah,
I want to see if because he's not going to defend that Heritage Cup. I think if they do a tournament for it next year, I think he'll be in the tournament for sure because he was the previous year's winner. I would hope he's in the tournament next year, but yeah, so I want to see what they do with him if they again, like I said, if they introduce another title, maybe he goes after Walter. We'll see what they do with him, but I hope they push him.
My one thing is just I would like, for example, you win the cup, right? And also like, hey, that makes you automatically the winner of like a championship opportunity at some point. See, that's like to me is
Yeah,
like,
or they could even say like our next pay-per-view.
oh yeah, whatever. But at least
Yeah, just like whatever. Yeah.
it just guarantees like an opportunity for you. So that way you're a winner. Yeah, you keep a cup. Cool. Yeah, right. You bring it home. Yeah, you put it right next to the fridge. Whatever. And then you know that like you're gonna have an opportunity against Walter or the champion of your choosing. Whatever. something like that.
Yeah. Now this is the other question. What do you do with Trent Seven? You built him up. You don't Pete Dunne here. You don't have Tyler Bate anymore. He's like the last, like one of the original, like 3, like real popular baby faces of this brand. So what do you do with him? I would say you turn him heel. You got a lot of baby faces on this roster. Maybe turn him heel. See how that goes.
Yeah. And like
because hey, he lost this tournament. He even said like I don't, I have to win this tournament. I don't. This is the one thing. I'm getting old. Like you said. Maybe he gets frustrated and turns heel.
Exactly. And you said it. Rampage Brown, Trent Seven, right there. I would like that. Why?
Because and speaking of that, because then we said Rampage Brown, there was a thing where he was working out, and then Saxon Huxley comes over and then gets in his face and starts Rampage Brown, Rampage Brown, Rampage Brown, and walks off. So that's going to be those two big horses going after each other. So that's
they're going to be. But like, how would you feel like? You turn Trent Seven, Rampage Brown, and see that would easily #1 contender. Right there, you have a guy with experience. Yeah, made it to the finals of the Heritage Cup. Hey, you, and what about you, Rampage? You haven't won anything. Well, I beat Huxley. I beat this guy. All right, boom. You put like.
It would be a good matchup. I'm interested to see what they do with him.
So. Yeah, it's like, especially like you said, like always a heel turn should come with like you lose something big. Yes. And for Trent Seven, right there was like this big opportunity, and like you said, every single time that like he was in a big stage match, he always lost. So that should be like more reasons for you to just be, heel. And, that's what we have the show, Jean Paul. It was really good. Thank you, family, so very much. I think that like NXT always delivers. NXT UK always delivers. And once again, I hope that like all of you had a great time with your families. Jean Paul is like so satisfied. He got like 2 like plates. I think I have 1.5. Really good stuff. So Jean Paul, remind everybody where they can find us in the social media world, please.
Where you can find us, our Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube for the #1 podcast, the Original Rope Break.
Now, family, so before we leave, there's one thing that we're really thankful for, and that's for every single one of you. Thank you for giving us a time, a place in your houses, and we're going to keep delivering the best content in professional wrestling. Tomorrow we have SmackDown with Jean Paul. So one more thing that is left to say, and that is...